Hello, I'm Mary Lohman, and this is Mondays with Mary. Do you find it difficult to believe that God has truly forgiven you? Are you carrying around guilt even after you've asked God to forgive you? Are you living in the if-onlys of life and imagining what your life would have been like if only you had made a different decision or you hadn't made that wrong choice? Maybe you're failing to enjoy your forgiveness. Have you discovered that the things you'd like to forget are the things that hang around your mind? And at the same time, you forget lots of good things that you should remember? That's kind of a common human problem. We remember what we should forget and forget what we should remember. And who do you think aids and abets us in that process? The enemy of your soul, Satan himself. If he can keep us mired in the regrets from our past, in the guilt we insist on carrying with us, even though God has forgiven us, then he steals our joy, he robs our peace, and he keeps us in bondage to the past. So that's why I want to encourage you to enjoy your forgiveness. First, of course, is to make sure you have confessed your sin and turned from it and you know God has forgiven you. But maybe you're thinking, well, I've done that, and yet you keep asking God again and again to forgive you for what he's already forgiven. Does that describe you? If so, I would remind you that God has chosen not to remember your sins. He has chosen to forget your sins, and they are forgiven and they are forsaken. Therefore, who are you to keep bringing them up, living in regret and refusing to enjoy the fact that God has forgiven you? True, you may be living with some of the consequences, but there's no reason for you to let confessed sin hang over your head like a dark cloud. When that happens, you're not enjoying your forgiveness. It's as though you've forgotten that God has forgiven you, or you think he still intends to punish you, or perhaps you're just so sorry it happened you can't put it behind you. God is not honored in that way, is he? Ephesians 2 says, "It is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." If I gave you a gift and you did not enjoy it, how would that make me feel? I would be disappointed, right? God gives us the gift of forgiveness without charge, even though we don't deserve it, and he loves to see us enjoy the gift he has given to us. Now, the enemy loves to steal your joy. Honestly, it's one of his most effective weapons and one of his most subtle ones, because we often just don't see that he is behind our loss of joy. When you are living in regret, under a cloud of guilt from sins that have been confessed and forgiven, your joy is greatly diminished. It's stolen. And that debilitates you. It cripples you. It saps your spiritual strength, and pretty soon you just want to quit. You've lost the joy of your salvation. And the enemy is watching all this and patting himself on the back because he has stolen your joy and kept you from enjoying God's forgiveness. So if that kind of describes where you are lately, I'm hoping you will, with God's help, of course, begin to enjoy your forgiveness. You do that by bringing every thought into captivity, those thoughts of guilt and regret, grabbing them actually and replacing them with the truth that God has forgiven you and you can enjoy his forgiveness. Have a great day.